Have you heard of the peer assessment tool? A peer assessment is an activity used to allow students to evaluate classmates' performance using a rubric provided in Echo by the teacher. So today I am going to show you how to create a peer assessment in your course and what it looks like from the student perspective. Go ahead and log into Echo as a teacher. From the home page, click the editor icon located on the course card where you'd like to create a peer assessment activity. Decide if you just want it in the course or if you'd like it in a project. I'm going to put it in a project in Benchmark 1. I'm going to click the Add to Benchmark 1 link. And from this pop-up window, I'm going to select Peer Assessment. When you create a peer assessment activity, there's a few steps that you must go through. You're going to need to add a title. I would label this peer assessment, so when you tell your students they are going to be completing a peer assessment, it's easy for them to find and they understand where it is. And then I would also add what it is they're assessing. So I'm going to call this Peer Assessment State Reflection. From here, you will then add your rubric. So what's really nice about the peer assessment activity is that if you select empty, you can completely create your own rubric. You will add rows and columns by clicking the Add button. You can add your own language. You can completely create it however you'd like so that it meets the needs of your students in your course. You can also select NTN rubrics that are in here, and you can also edit those rubrics, change the wording, delete columns, delete rows, add columns, add rows to meet whatever you need. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the collaboration rubric from high school that already exists. Because this is benchmark 1 of my project and we haven't really, hit every aspect of this rubric yet, I am going to delete some of these rows, just because I want to add them slowly for my students. So I'm going to only assess today group norms, equal participation, and contribution. I feel like that's a good starting point. From here, I can also change these headings. I can change the title of each row, and I can adjust the point value. Once I get my rubric all set, I'll hit save. From here, you also have some other decisions that you need to make. You can decide if you want to allow the students to assess themselves, and then you could compare their self-assessment to the assessment that their peers give them, and that would be a good point to leverage some conversation between the student, give them some feedback. You can require comments, hide student feedback, let students self-group, or assign to the groups. Since this is a high school group, I'm going to let the students go ahead and self-group. And then you hit OK. Now within the editor portion of your course, you can see this peer assessment. If you'd like to adjust the gradebook settings for this, you can go ahead and hit edit. If you'd like it to count for a grade, you can say this is gradable. I would go ahead, since it was a collaboration rubric, I would make this heavily weighted in collaboration and possibly agency and knowledge and thinking, because there was some writing in there, I suppose. Written communication as well. So once you have, and you can from here also edit and delete the rubric if you'd like, and there's a lot of other settings you can go through and adjust. I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now the peer assessment is created and it's ready to go. Let's take a look at this from a student's perspective. Okay, your student will log in and they're going to go ahead and get into that course that has the peer assessment activity. You, the teacher, will tell the student which assignment it is that they are peer assessing on. It could be a paper, an Echo assignment, a group assignment, a document, or anything you want students to practice giving peer feedback on. So the student's going to come in, go into benchmark 1, and find that peer assessment activity. Before they start, they'll have the ability to view the rubric. Just take a look at it, see exactly what it is they're looking for. And they're going to go ahead and add their group members because I did not assign their group members. They're high school students. They know who their group is. So I'm going to go ahead and have them add their group members. You can assign it to them, though, specifically if you'd like. So this girl, Christy, she has 3 group members that she's going to self-assess. They'll go in and they will click on the student's name. They have the ability then to go ahead and rate their group members on how they did against this collaboration rubric. And they also have the option to leave them some feedback if they'd like. They can give them full credit, no credit, or they can clear it and start over, and they can leave private comments to their teacher that their students or that their group members cannot see, which is a pretty awesome feature. When they're done, they'll click Save. Then they can see the score they left, and they can do that for all of their group members and then hit Submit. Or they can just do it for one group member. It's totally up to you. When they're done, they'll hit Submit. You must evaluate all students before submitting. I did not do that, but Christy would if she were doing it for real. And really, that is it. There you have it. This is how you create a peer assessment as a teacher and what it looks like and how it operates from a student's perspective.